congratulations, first of all.
Thank
well
you.
done on getting the FNS task. You got really good results up there.
So I will begin with describing the preparation of the training dataset, and I will continue with describing the fine-tuning of the language model. So the dataset that was presented is highly extractive, and most of the summaries overlap with the original report's text. The summaries also overlap with each other, which indicates that some experts thought that part of the report is very important. On the picture, you can see that some summaries are continuous and some are not, like the third one. And they differ in length and positions. To prepare the training dataset, I picked one target summary for each report. Only continuous summaries were used, and the target summary was picked, the one that has maximum intersection with the other gold summaries. So in this picture, the third one has maximum intersection with the others lengthwise, but the second one is picked because it is continuous. Talking about gold summaries, more than 1/3 of them are longer than 1,000 words, which is the limit for system summaries. And most of them start in the first 2,000 words from the beginning of the report. So in this shared task, I focused on extracting a continuous summary from the first 2,000 words of the report. Because the previous years but solutions used language models, I've used a language model as well and picked T5, which is a multitask model, also capable of summarizing text. In order to handle long sequences, I used longer source length, and because of the quadratic computation complexity of transformer, I had to reduce the target sequence length and also use a very small batch size, the smallest possible. The model had input of first 4,000 tokens of the report and outputted the 64 tokens of the summary. So after receiving these 64 tokens for the testing part of the data, I allocated them in the report and extracted 1,000 words or 60 sentences, whichever is less, from that position. So this T5 model was only used to locate the beginning of the summary, and 1,000 words or 60 sentences were extracted from this position. About one fourth of the summaries were exactly located, they it was able to locate one of the gold summaries in the report. I'm talking about validation data here, and about half of the summaries were about less than 50 words close to the one of the gold summaries. Talking about length, it is 1.72 times longer than corresponding gold summaries. So these heuristics taking 60 sentences can be improved. The system summaries are too long, and generating shorter summaries can improve precision of the model. The final setup was the best on the validation data set. And if increasing the model size surprisingly did not improve the result. T5 base performed just nearly as well as T5 small model. The preparation of the training data set is important for this model because same setup but without gold summary selection outputs only 0.34 score. Also, training the encoder of the T5 model is important to succeed in this task. The solution outperformed the previous year's results on all of the F1 metrics. In future, it is possible to use sparse attention models such as Longformer or Big Bird in order to reduce the computational and memory requirements. Actually, I had to use V100 on Google Collaboration to train the model. And with the sparse attention models, end-to-end training may be possible when not just 64 first tokens of the summary are used as target, but the entire summary text will be generated by the model. Thank you for the shared task. That's all.
Thanks a lot, Mikhail. That's quite interesting. Sounds like a bit challenging to me, but you've done quite well. I've got a quick question while others also prepare their questions, if any. So you mentioned you only focused, I might have misunderstood that, but you said you only looked at generating the summary from the first 2,000 words of the report?
Actually, the beginning of the summary had to be within the first 2,000 words. And the summary itself could be in between the first, the summary generated is only inside first 3,000 words because it can be 1,000 words long.
Okay, that's interesting. Actually, this is good for us to know more about the data. Okay, so does anyone have any questions? You can raise your hand or type in the chat. So while you do so, so I just want to remind that after the coffee break, we have the presentations for the main workshop papers. Then after that, we have the GatherTown. So GatherTown is fully accessible today. So if you want to use the coffee break to go to GatherTown, please do, and try to chat to each other's and use the space. We are allowed 100 people today, so we do encourage that you use GatherTown, and then also again later on for the poster presentations. So, Mikhail, a question from Dominique. She says, did you start experimenting on long formers?
I did some experiments at the beginning, but I used not sequence-to-sequence setup. I tried I tried sequence labeling or question answering setup, and it didn't converge well. So I think sequence-to-sequence setup is better in this task.
Thanks. All right. Thanks a lot, Mikhail. And again, congratulations on winning the share task.